Welcome, everyone, to spacious Sam's Town Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada for the championship round finals of the Brunswick Gold Rush Mixed Doubles Shootout. Hi, everyone. I'm Denny Schreiner, and welcome to Las Vegas, and welcome to the first of 10 LPBT telecasts on ESPN this fall. And working with me once again this fall will be Leila Wagner. Leila, without question, the ladies bowl a number of different types of formats throughout the year, but this is really a special event.
Well, Denny, it really is a special event, and the reason it is because this is the only opportunity that the women have the chance to bowl with some of the top professional and amateur male bowlers in the country.
A number of different ways to choose a partner for this tournament. Some of the teams, especially the top two, really had no choice one way or another.
No, I don't think the Webs or the Fairs really had any choice. If they did, they may not be married any longer.
All right, let's talk about the unique format and how you qualify to get to the top five in this one. It's a mixed doubles event, but it's also total pins.
Well, it is. They started with 86 teams. They totaled up the scores after one game. They advanced on to the next round. They cut the field to half, and that's how we ended up with our top five finalists. They actually had 5 rounds.
All right, so a very tough competition. When you look at Pete Weber and Betty Morris, they didn't make it. Lisa and Kent Wagner failed to get to the telecast. Some great competition. One final question. It's a tough one. Who will bowl in the anchor spot? Who will lead off? Will it be the man or the woman?
Well, you know, Denny, I'm really not sure. If it was my team, I guess it would have to be the player that has the best shot on that finishing lane. But you never know. It might be the player with the most television experience.
The qualifying was very exciting, and we're expecting some fireworks here in Las Vegas at Sam's Town this evening. Before we get to the championship game, though, we'll come back with the opening match here in Las Vegas between two very talented teams, Debbie DiTrani, Justin Hromek, and also Karen Ellingsworth and George Hall. And welcome back, everyone, to Sam's Town Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada for the opening match of the Brunswick Gold Rush Mixed Double Shootout. Karen Ellingsworth, George Hall, Justin Hromek, and Debbie DiTrani here in game number 1. And Hall will start on the left-hand lane, championship round pair. Leila Wagner, 19 and 20.
This is actually our first look at George Hall. I'd never really seen him bowl prior to this event, Denny, so we're all in for a treat.
Kind of an unusual arm swing. First shot, wastes no time in hitting the pocket and ripping the rack.
Great reaction there in the back end, the area just before the pin. We saw the 5-pin just blow out that 7. To look at his arm swing, as you mentioned, a very large first step there, Danny, and a bent elbow. He hits the line and then comes through. But good leverage, good knee bend.
One of the outstanding bowlers in the country. A couple of years ago, Debbie DiTrani comes out of the gates with a strike.
Debbie's sister, actually twin sister, Donna DiTrani, a very good player out here on the women's tour. Recently joined the tour. Debbie does have some aspirations of coming out on the pro tour eventually.
And one of the stars of that Wichita State National Championship team of a year ago, Justin Hromek, a budding star, outstanding player.
Real nice game.
Leaves the solid 4 to start. Looks like it's relatively easy to hit the pocket.
Well, actually, Denny, it is a nice shot, but you really had to make good, consistent shots here. You didn't have much area to the right. They're definitely the out-of-bounds area. The players playing right between the 2nd and 3rd arrow, right up the track. And you'll see the women playing a little bit more of a direct line than the men. The men able to create more area with the amount of revolutions.
So a spare up for Hromek in the 2nd. Very unusual format, and boy, to get to the telecast here this evening, some terrific bowling in the qualifying rounds.
There really was, Denny. We saw 405 take it as a team total to get by the 2nd round, and then a 405 again the 3rd round. Moved up to a 419 in the 4th round, and to make the telecast, Chris Warren and Tori Romeo shot 365 and were eliminated. Karen's game here, 5-step approach. You'll see Karen with not much knee bend. She hits the line, a lot of loft on the ball, but one of the outstanding players on the women's tour as well.
And of course, she struck to double up. Hall looks for the 3-bagger early on in this one.
Looks good. Oh, what a bad break there, Denny. A pocket 7-10.
hit very much similar to the one that he had in the first when he struck.
It really was similar. The ball a little farther out to the right, though, before it makes its break back. Doesn't break quite as hard back. The 5 going in front of the 7 instead of taking it out the 6 lane in the channel.
So they double to grab the 10-pin lead, but then Hall gives it back on the pocket 7-10. And the match tightens up considerably. As a matter of fact, now DiTrani and Hromek lead by 4.
Debbie and Justin bowled together for 2 years at Wichita State. Debbie recently a medalist in the Olympic Festival.
Tries for a bit of a fallback shot there and not able to strike on the right-hand lane.
Debbie with a 5-step approach using all of the approach here. As you can see, you're carrying the ball a large first step, very low, her shoulders are low, but nice backswing, good position coming through here in the end. Look at the knee bend and the follow through. A real nice game as well. It's almost like watching her sister. Her sister has a very similar game.
And so a spare up in the 3rd now for the team of DiTrani and Justin Hromek. Hromek for the event through 5 rounds averaged just a fraction better than 236, the highest average of our television finalists.
Debbie averaging 185, so Justin held her up just a little bit. But we'll see a difference later on, Denny, as some of the women held up the men.
That one's through the nose. 3-6-10 is what's left.
Getting the ball hooking a little bit too early there. He didn't project it far enough out to the right before it made its break back towards the pocket.
First ever appearance on national television for either of these young players, and certainly a great experience for them here this evening.
These are actually the only 2 players that have never competed at one time or another on the tour, teaming up together.
So a spare up in the 4th. And a 1-pin lead now for the team of George Hall and Karen Ellingsworth. We'll be back with more from Las Vegas right after these messages. Karen Ellingsworth with an opportunity now to strike in the 4th. Her only other shot on the right-hand lane was a strike in the 2nd.
Karen, a 9-year member of the Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour. Current earning, she's 26th. Also 26th in average.
Plenty of room. Another strike on the right-hand lane. 10-pin was the last to leave as Karen smiles and slaps George on the hand and says, all right, time to double up.
I think she wasn't sure that 10-pin was going to fall there. It kind of fell a little strange. George is a movie projectionist at home in Illinois. So he really never had too many aspirations of being pro. Really didn't like to travel.
Well, if you're going to bowl on the PBA National Tour, you better get used to that. So he strikes on the left-hand lane. He's the ABC All-Events champion here in 1989. So obviously a quality player indeed. The team of Hall and Ellingsworth were their 2nd double. And, of course, the big 7-10 pocket split in the 3rd. They lead by 11.
DiTrani, a major in journalism at Wichita State.
Looks like the right-hand lane may be breaking down a fraction, or is she pulling the ball?
She could be just pulling the ball a little bit, Denny. It's once again that very tight line that you're playing, and it's tough to get comfortable because you know you really can't send it out to the right, so you're trying to play real straight and direct. And when you do that, you have a tendency to pull the ball occasionally.
Gets a break and leaves only the 6-pin. Once again, it's up to Hromek to get things started.
It's really a nice experience for these players to have your first time on television, at least to have somebody up there with you as a partner. A little moral support.
13 300 games already in his career. on that shot. And a good reaction. So Hromek strikes in the 6th.
Hromek looking to become a professional in January, and if he keeps throwing shots like this, he may just do all right.
Not afraid to circle it now. Ellingsworth trying for the turkey now in the 6th.
Her ball breaking a little early, looking for the break there. She actually did get quite a break.
First couple of shots were light in the pocket for Karen Ellingsworth. She made sure that she turned that one and basically overturned it.
Exactly.
Gets a break, though, and leaves only the 6.
Uh-oh. A big mistake right there for Karen as George looks off to the side, looks up at the scoreboard. Really just actually ahead of the ball there. She's at the line, comes through it, and the ball just hit the conditioner and goes right into a slide.
So a mistake that you wouldn't think Ellingsworth would make in the 6th opens the door. All right now trying to regroup a little bit. He throws it through the nose. 3-6-10 is what's left standing now in the 7th, and it's a 4-pin match.
A very difficult spare conversion too. The 3-6-10 and easy one to chop. See how he covers it.
So a spare up now in the 7th, and actually DiTrani and Hromek now lead by 1. If they come back and throw a couple of strikes, they'll take the advantage here in game number 1 from Sam's Town in Las Vegas. We'll be back with more right after this. Debbie DiTrani toweling off, and if she strikes here, their team could take an 11-pin lead. Game number 1.
A great match so far here, Denny.
Next in line, Mike Tucker and Stacy Ryder. The number 2 seed team, Wayne and Travis Webb. Key shot after the commercial break, and you can't throw it much better than that.
No, you can't. And Tish Johnson in the audience. I tell you, I liked the look on Debbie's face when she went to release that ball. She got a real fierce grin on her face as she pulled the ball through at the last minute.
Yeah,
maybe we can get a shot at that.
Key double in the 7th. Their first double of the match. They've stayed clean. Already 2 opens for Ellingsworth and George Hall.
There, we just saw it.
Plenty of room for Hromek.
Oh.
Oh, a solid 10 that time on the left-hand lane. Pretty good shot.
A great shot. That ball just finishing just a tad bit late behind the head pin, throwing the 6 around the 10, and Justin's off in the crowd somewhere. I think he's trying to get to his bag.
Yeah, maybe coming out with a spare ball. There we go.
Sure is.
Yep. Now the burning question.
How's he going to get back?
Will Justin Hromek ever come back to bowl here at Sam's Town? I didn't realize he was a marathoner as well.
I don't think he did.
Well, thank goodness he found his way back to 19 and 20. Gotta like that confidence, though, right?
I tell you.
Hold
watch
up national television to go find my spare ball. No big deal. Obviously, Debbie's appreciative.
Justin comes back with a smile. I think he realizes.
Hope he doesn't have to look for the car keys later on. Oh, well. His team leads by 10 as we approach the 8th frame, and it's clutch time for Ellingsworth and Hall.
We'll see if that professional experience can come through here.
Oh, much better shot, and she trips out the 4.
Definitely gave that ball the room that time as they made a nice break back.
Well, if you look at this thing mathematically, both teams could end up shooting 223.
Here's a look at Karen's shot, coming in a little high, the head pin off the wall, tripping both the 4 and the 7. You like to carry those trip 4 shots.
Wastes little time, plenty of speed, and at the very last moment, the 4-pin stands.
Denny, playing that tight inside line like that, you really do see a lot of 4-pins because the way the ball is coming in so hard into the pocket, it's just driving too hard.
And you have a tendency to fit it into the pocket a little bit, especially after you've left a pocket 7-10 like Hall did earlier. So the 4-pin now is gone, but so may be the opportunity for Hall and Ellingsworth to move into game number 2. Their best score now would be 203. So DiTrani and Hromek in the driver's seat.
They can actually shut the other team out.
Kind of dropped that one off the line. Dropped it right in the pocket, though, and tripped out the 4-pin.
Once again, that fitted shot, as we talked about right here, not giving it the room, hitting it inside of her target. The ball actually falls back. Head pin tripped the 4-7, and I really like her reaction here. She's really an emotional type player. I think we need her out here on tour.
One strike, and it's daddy lockups here, and it's on to game number 2.
The ring in 10 last time for Justin. We'll see if he carries it this time, and he sure does. What a nice shot.
No problem whatsoever for Justin Hromek, and if he throws 2 more, it's a game of 223, but they will advance now into game number 2.
You know, Denny, this is where the collegiate experience really comes through. Both these players have been in tough competition, and they've been able to come through in the clutch, and what a pretty shot that was.
Well, you're right. He threw his best shots when the heat was on, and that's got to tell you something as a player, right?
It really does. The collegiate program these days is just so good that a player gains so much experience. Justin will be definitely ready to hit the tour in January.
Well, Gordon Vatican, a member of Team USA here in 1989, has coached a number of outstanding players down there at Wichita State. So Hromek has little trouble whatsoever in the 10th as the team of DiTrani and Hromek string 4 in a row, shoot 223 here in the opening game. And an appearance that didn't last long enough for Karen Ellingsworth or George Hall. They will finish up 5th this week at Sam's Town in Las Vegas. I think regardless of where you finish in this one, it is a fun event to bowl in. A number of players from all over the country teaming up for the first time ever. They had 86 doubles teams this year as compared to just 41 or 42 a year ago. Wouldn't be surprised if next year they have over 100.
I wouldn't be surprised, Denny. Word of mouth and an increase in prize money. I definitely think we'll see more teams, more players come out and bowl.
I think they had a lot of fun with it, too. I mean, aside from the competition and the money and the trip to Las Vegas.
Really a house full of people, too. Spectators were just
place was
packed.
So the final score, 223 to 188. And so that young couple right there has bowled their way into game number 2. Next up, Stacy Ryder and Mike Tucker when we return to Sam's Town in Las Vegas. Ah, yes, the red team, Stacy Ryder and Mike Tucker against Debbie DiTrani and Justin Hromek. Game number 2 of the Brunswick Gold Rush Mixed Doubles Shootout. Quite a unique event on the LPBT Tour. This is, of course, week number 1. 9 more LPBT telecasts on ESPN this fall. Stacy Ryder never wastes any time throwing shots or throwing strikes.
Stacy's second time on television, Denny. She just made a show recently this summer on the women's telecast, and she had a little bit of a misfortune in that match. However, she's coming back strong.
All right, so DiTrani will start in the right-hand lane. Next in line, Wayne and Travis Webb, our top seeds, Steve and Nancy Fair of Cincinnati. Nice shot, leaves the solid 4. What kind of an advantage now for Hromek and DiTrani, Leila, for already having bowled a game on the championship round pair?
Well, actually, Denny, because they're staying on the same lane, they're getting more of a feel for that lane. And, you know, one game's over, it's a little bit more relaxing for them now. Definitely an advantage over the other team.
And obviously an advantage for the players to have to throw all their shots just on one lane.
Right.
Okay. It's almost like practice.
Exactly.
All right, so enough for the 4 pin.
A lot of times, Denny, on the Pro Tours, there is a difference between the left lane and the right lane. We talk about it all the time on the telecast. And, you know, making those adjustments from one to the other is a little bit more difficult. It's just that much more of a challenge. These players aren't having to do that.
Hromek continues to strike his high game here this week. 299. He knows how to string them.
Yes, he does. As he averaged 236 for the 5 rounds.
Big, strong, strapping right-hander here. Tucker will turn it loose.
Mike Tucker recently winning a PCB event out in California. Boy, does he strap it, Denny.
And inside, gives it a nice little rip and strikes on his opening shot. And the youth, they're fearless.
Actually in a sitting position as he starts. 5-step approach. Good push away here. Nice position. And look how low he is. A very tall guy coming through. Good knee bend, but actually fell off a little bit balance. He strapped it so hard he pulled himself off.
Ryder high in the pocket. I think this is easily the most excitable player on the telecast this evening, Stacy Ryder.
Stacy, a member of the women's tour now for 2 years, has done quite well. She's 25th in earnings and 17th in average. So she's made a nice showing for her first 2 years out.
Very aggressive player who will win sometime along the way here. And when she does and gets comfortable with it, you better watch out.
Very aggressive. Even Mike Tucker said that's why he picked her as a partner.
Gosh, it's the only partner I could find that's more aggressive than I am. I'm the one who buys the dinner check.
Probably fight over it.
See, that's what I love about today's women. It's terrific.
Independent.
That's right, 50-50.
Oh, no, you can buy my dinner anytime.
All right, yeah, I know. With you and I at 75-25, I know. And looking for the double, a little better speed, but I have a feeling, oh my, this lane might be breaking down. And speaking of breaking down, there went the 6 pin at the very last moment.
And a big smile there from Debbie coming back. We'll get to see exactly what happened here. The ball coming in real high. Boy, she had a split standing there. Pins dancing all over the place as the 6 pin falls.
Head pin, the last to take it out. So if Hromek strikes here, it'll be an 11 pin advantage.
Saw him leave it before. That ring in 10.
What I like about his game, the ball comes off his hand and rolling.
Really good execution.
Almost like Mark Williams. That's the ball when it comes off his hand. Williams gets out of that thing so clean, that ball's rolling in his backswing.
Quick release, real clean release.
He's out of the ball before you even know it.
That's real good for consistency, Denny. A player on the women's tour, Leanne Barrett, very similar.
Yeah. Well, you get the same roll every single trip. Yeah. All right, so Hromek spares up, and we've got an even Steven match at the midway point here of game number 2 from Sam's Town in Las Vegas. We'll be back with more bowling right after these messages. And the match is even.
Mike recently bowled as a guest in one of the professional events. It didn't fare too well, but at least he was able to compete. He won that spot.
Stacy obviously liking that last effort, and if she strikes here, they're back to a 10-pin advantage.
Looking for the double. These two players bowling together as junior bowlers.
I was going to say either the players are getting younger or you and I are getting...
They must be getting younger.
Yeah, right.
she liked it the moment it left her hand, and rightfully so.
A real nice shot there. Great double for the Ryder-Tucker team. Here you can see Stacy hits the line, pulls the ball through. A lot of power this little one actually creates. Look at the roll on her ball. All 10 right in the pit. Debbie coming off balance there, looking for the trip 4. Didn't stay down on that shot. Hitting inside her mark and the ball finishing real high.
Well, it looks like she's got a little more area to the right, but she's been tugging it all night long.
Well, that happens, Denny, when you, once, like we talked about before, you have the area to the right, but you don't have that much. And it's your first time.
Trust it, huh?
No, and it's your first time on television. It's easy to tug it.
Has a lot to do with it. I don't know, though, Leila. I have a sneaking suspicion that Tucker and Ryder are going to continue to throw strikes.
Looking pretty strong right here.
A double in the second and the third thus far for DiTrani and Hromek. They trail by 11 right now.
Really bad break for this gentleman last time on lane 19. He just left that ringing 10, which would have given their team a turkey, so.
I like the fact that he takes his time, makes a good, crisp shot, didn't hurry it, didn't try and force it. Of course, Vatican really stresses the mental game down there at Wichita State, and his players have a tendency not to get too worked up over what's happening. It's pretty businesslike.
I think then you save your energies for what you're actually doing.
Keep that heart rate about the same. Don't get too excited or too down.
Much better shot by Mike, actually staying with that one a little longer. Didn't fall off balance.
That was Flush City there. He reminds me of a little Mark Baker. Watch him the next time. Watch the roll of the ball.
If he gets anywhere near the head pin, Denny, I know it's 10 down.
Thing's rolling, isn't it? It's like a truck. Stacy looking for 4 in a row.
And the head pin flying off the wall. Daryl Ryder, Stacy's father, looking on as...
Well, Stacy and Mike Tucker are having just a marvelous time here in Las Vegas. The reason why they lead by 31. We'll be back with the conclusion of game number 2 after this. Like the present here in the 7th to double for the team of DiTrani and Hromek. They trail by 31.
Really needing the strike here, Denny, to stay in this match the way Stacy and Mike are going. Oh, looking for the fallback shot again. Ball breaking high. Could have been just a 4. Pretty bad break there, leaving the 10 with it.
You might think of the 4-9 perhaps, but certainly not the 4-10.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's makeable.
Yes, it is. She's going to want to hit on the left side of that 4-pin, slide it right on over to the 10. And right now in the position they're in, I would almost give it a shot. And looks like she is going to. Oh, nice try.
So a good effort, a bold effort in the 7th, but Debbie DiTrani comes up with an 8 count, and the lead now is at 45. Best possible game for DiTrani and Hromek would be 224.
And Stacy and Tucker are already at a 230 pace if they just stay clean.
Good comeback shot that time for Hromek, but it would appear as if they have run out of room. And I think he knows it.
I think he'll still go in, convert the spare, and you never know what happens. 3 frames left.
I know, I've seen it.
Seen it happen before.
Stacy's seen it happen.
That's right.
See, I'll let you relate that story if she wins this match.
Okay. Between these two Stacy and Mike. Stacy out-averaged Mike 228 to 207 for their 5 rounds. Really getting the action of those head pins moving.
Boy, this is an amazing 10-pin pickup
now
here.
Tell me this isn't something to owe about.
Well, where's the 6-pin?
6 pins at the moon.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
It looked like it was going to fall one way, and then it did the other.
Never any doubt. Ryder comes back with a strike of her own, and this couple may shoot 279 out of the gate.
Wow.
And the match is out of the wood, and so DiTrani and Hromek will finish out here in game number 2 and back the bags.
Well, real nice showing for both of these players, actually.
Well, they defeated George Hall and Karen Ellingsworth in game number 1, 223 to 188. But it'll be a 4th place finish. And it never fails. You always strike when the heat's off.
And an enjoyable day.
I'm sure they'll be back and partnered next year, wouldn't you think?
I think so.
Oh, you got to come back to make the show.
You bet.
Sure.
You left me this year, Dan.
Yeah, I did. Well, it's like the old horse. They put him out to pasture. I had one good tournament left, and that was the end of the trail, as they say. Yes. 4.67 for Hromek, but it was all academic at that stage.
A computer. Majored in computer science. Will be finished in one more semester and out to the tour.
And I have a feeling that he'll need to work on the financial programming. He'll make some money on the PBA tour.
I think so.
Yeah, solid player.
Rick Steelsmith coming from Wichita State. Rookie of the year, his first year out.
Little overroll that time and leaves the 3-6 10. But doesn't make any difference at this stage. High scores here in game number 2 throughout the event itself. Were the lanes easy?
Actually, Denny, the pairs were real different. We had a lot of practice time, practice session time. A lot of the bowlers were able to toss through the different pairs, but they were different. You could get on a pair, you could see your ball move. No, but I wouldn't say the lanes were easy. You had to make shots.
Well, it's the first time I've ever seen a player smile when their partner chopped a split, but it didn't make any difference. 244 to 180. So Tucker and Ryder continue on for the quest here in Las Vegas. However, Travis and Wayne Webb, well, they're going to try and stand in the way here in the semifinal game.